Alright, good afternoon everybody. It is 3 o'clock on Monday, September 14th. Just drew this trend line here on SPY for the two highs we have seen on the 5-minute chart. And we just saw a bearish candlestick here, nice pop, and then the bear stepped in and a big long upper wick. We'll see if this 20-period moving average support 195.86 can hold, currently trading below it, so it is resistance. And we will be watching this downtrend line, and the 100-period moving average is coming down and will be underneath this trend line resistance fairly shortly. So going to need to see a bullish volume streak for SPY to break out of this pattern, and we will be watching closely. Looking at Mobileye, we had the break above the key 100-period moving average resistance and some nice continuation from there. Then we saw this is a gravestone doji, so everybody can see at the top of an uptrend. Gravestone doji with a confirmation reversal candle on huge volume for Mobileye, so seeing some more downside there. Support 46.75, the 100-period moving average must hold, and underneath that is 46.58. So this is just a perfect example of the gravestone doji at the top of an uptrend, red candlestick confirming the bearish reversal, and then seeing continued downside. And volume was the dead giveaway here to get out while you can, or to enter a short position. Let's look at Tesla. Tesla set a new high of day, but then failed to hold the 20-period moving average support. We had a low back here of 252.68. and the low right now of 252.67. So currently a double bottom. We will see if that can hold. If not, we are going to come down to this 100-period moving average support of 252.01. And it's looking like it's breaking right now as I speak. So 252.01 is the target for Tesla. And breaking this lower low is a break in the trend of higher lows all day today. Looking at Apple here on the 5-minute chart, it has been in this channel pointed out for quite some time now, the 100-period moving average resistance, which is currently 115.74, and the 200-period moving average support of 114.96. Looks like we're coming down to test that level right now, as the 20-period moving average support has failed, 115.50. That held on the most recent pullback. So we will see if this 200-period is going to be tested, which it looks like it will be. And the low of the day is 114.86, so the support is just above the low of the day there. TTPH, one that I want to keep my eye on into tomorrow. If we see a close above 950, it will be a very bullish sign. And if you look at the daily chart, you will see why my interest is here for TTPH. Excuse me. I'll pull up the daily chart right here so you can see what I'm looking at. So we had an incredible gap down of a close of 44.78. Next morning people wake up and see the open at $9.64. So something terrible has happened to this company, and I don't care what it was. We are looking at the chart. We are seeing the high here of 962, a high of 950. I was looking at the 950 level because it was the high Friday. We broke that. Volume on Friday was 6 million. We currently have volume of 3.5 million. So we're going to see decreasing volume there, but a higher low. We have 3 higher lows in a row now. We have the lower Bollinger Band back as support. That level is 878. And if we close above 950, we will have $10 psychological resistance. The high from the gap down day was 1024. And look at how much space of gap there is with no price action. The bulls can really run with this as long as there is bullish volume. So who knows, with a $10 stock, maybe we'll see some millionaires stepping in here and catching some of this bounce. We could easily see a 20% bounce on TTPH, judging by how huge of a gap down this was. So let's look at Facebook. Bullish all day, bullish weekly chart, bullish daily chart. Currently trying to hold 100-period moving average support of 92.20. Nice trend of higher lows all day today. As you can see, we could come all the way down to just above $92 and still hold that trend of higher lows. And we did see some Higher highs, although we did not break the high of the day, this long upper wick was the high of the day of 92.62. So still a lower high there, even though we got above all of these consolidation ranges. You can see Facebook here was a prime example of the rubber band effect as well. We had a low, a higher low, and then two more higher lows, three more higher lows, as we had consolidating lower highs, three lower highs. As soon as we saw the break above the 100 period moving average resistance, which conveniently aligned with these previous highs, it was game on for the bulls for the next half hour or so. And currently the bears are in control as we are coming down to 200 period moving average support 92.05. Thank you for the heads up, Fear. Let me point that out again. Every time I switch over, I always need to remember to switch back. So here is the Facebook perfect rubber band effect and breakout. We had a high, a low found on the 200 period moving average support, a lower high off the resistance, higher lows three more times, one more lower high, and the 100 period moving average resistance conveniently lining up with those two previous highs. Breaking that level, the absolute go sign was the break of this high, 92.22, and then we saw some nice upside all the way up to 92.53. So that was the breakout. And zooming out now, we have the bears taking control and watching 92.05 as support, which has held multiple attempts to pull back. So if we see that fail as support, we know we are coming down to the low of the day for Facebook. But judging by the strong daily chart, I would expect the 200 period moving average to hold on this test. Eyes, after a very bullish morning on high volume, has seen a lot of $10 resistance, and the volume has not shown up to break it. So you can see the first 20 minutes here, incredible volume spikes comparatively to everything else. We had a 5-minute span of 63,000 volume when all of Friday's volume was 150,000 shares traded. So that shows you how big this 5 minutes was and why the price went from 10.06 up to 10.52 in such a short amount of time. Let's see what GoPro's up to. GoPro found nice support off the 200 period moving average. This is what I was pointing out on how on an easy GoPro bearish play, we had support off of the 33.60 level. It was found once, 2, 3, 4 times, and then it finally broke on this candlestick and led to more downside. We are currently breaking above the 100 period moving average resistance and pulled back underneath it. Did not pass the back test, so now we are trying to hold the 20 period moving average support of 33.07 and see if we can set higher highs and higher lows here for GoPro into the end of the day. Glad to hear it, Math. Certainly having two screens is very helpful because it cuts down the number of windows you have stacked on top of each other in half. So definitely beneficial. So Lulu saw a lot of bearish volume. It almost looked like a coordinated attack in the sense that it was just straight pullback for almost an hour with no sign of any bullish momentum. Currently trading in a very tight range, and these 100 and 200 period moving average resistances are going to be the key levels to watch, 53.80 and 53.87. PCLN, we saw a low that held the important 12.75, very strong support, and we saw a nice bounce from that level. So we made it all the way up to 12.89 and now bouncing around these key support and resistance levels of 100 and 200 period moving average, which are 12.84 and 12.85, currently below them. If we see a break of this low, 1282.37, it will signal more downside and potentially all the way down to 1278, but we do have 1280 support. As long as we see closes above 1280 and below 1300, there's going to be a lot of indecision with PCLN. Close above 1300 is certainly bullish, and a close above 1280 is bearish, but there is nice 1275 support under there, so it's not game over if we do get a close above 1280 or below 1280, excuse me. Nugget fell below important 200 period moving average support and then tried to get back above it, did temporarily, and is now back below it. So that's strong resistance at 263. Did set a higher low compared to way back here, but lost all of the higher lows that it was seeing up here on the day. Let me look on the daily chart for Nugget. Currently forming a doji showing indecision and is no longer confirming the bullish reversal we saw on Friday. That candlestick on Friday on big volume was a nice hammer. We did have a green candlestick earlier today. It is no longer green. We have a doji, and that would not confirm the bullish reversal. The key is the 10-day moving average resistance of 286, which has knocked the price down multiple times in the past few weeks. Netflix, the key is the 100 period moving average resistance, which has knocked the price down first thing, and again back here. We are now trying to maintain higher lows. We see a low in the morning, a higher low in the afternoon, and now trying to set a higher low here. Nice big volume hammer showing the bullish reversal candlestick. We'll see if we get a green candlestick to confirm. But the 20 period moving average resistance is 95.54. 100 period moving average resistance 95.92, and there's going to be nothing bullish about the Netflix chart until it can turn this into support. Sunni found its bottom at 1050. That was a psychological level of support. Ran all the way up to 1088. Held 1070 support. Hitting 1077 resistance. It actually made it up to 1080, so that was a double top of resistance there, but that's a good sign that it broke 1077. And as long as it holds 1070 as support, we should be looking to test this 100 period moving average resistance potentially by the end of the day. If we break 1070, there's not a whole lot of support beneath it, so that would be a bearish development. Looking at BABA, found a little double bottom here in the late morning and has made a bullish run since then. Turning the 100 period moving average into support was a big deal. That is 62.28, and the 200 period resistance is 63.09. Let me pull up the daily chart for BABA, as I am sure the 10-day moving average is still resistance and strong. That is going to be the key to close above. Has not happened in quite some time. A little over a month, so 64.28, the 10-day moving average resistance, is the key to close above for BABA, and step one for an attempted bullish reversal, which it so desperately needs. So let's check back in and see what SPY has done while I've been looking at other tickers. Pulled back considerably more after that ugly upper wick candlestick hitting the resistance trend line, set a lower low at 195.60, a lower low compared to the low right here of 195.65, though did form a hammer off that level, coming up to test the 20 period resistance of 195.87. If we see 195.60 fall, we should see a low of the day test. And you can see the pattern of lower highs that's been in place all day today with SPY. Halo, very impressive move. RSI is overbought at 77.5, so certainly would not be entering here. We have not seen a back test of these key 100 and 200 period moving average supports. Both of those levels are 1772, so perhaps some cool off coming back to those support levels. Let me check out the daily chart. Very wide trading range today. Bounced off the 10-day moving average support, currently above the middle Bollinger Band support of 1768, and 1850 is strong resistance as it hit that level back on August 28th and 31st and pulled back and did it again today this morning. So watching that key level, 1850, a close above that will be a bullish sign. but still maintaining the higher lows seen from the August 24th low. After, if we get a close above 1850, we have the upper Bollinger Band to deal with. That resistance is 1927, and the 100-day moving average resistance is 1959. So low to mid 19s does have some resistance. I am looking at the Bollinger Band, the upper Bollinger Band, as the first step to get above after 1850. So two bullish candlesticks out of nowhere here for SPY. We'll see if it's able to break this downtrend line, and the 100-period moving average is slowly creeping down to line up with this trend line. A break of this trend line will signal a bullish close of SPY. TTPH is flirting around that 950 level. Looks like Lulu made a bullish break. Key resistance of 53.80 and 53.87. We'll see if there's enough volume to get above it. A whole lot of sideways consolidation this afternoon. And finally seeing a breakout on some decent volume. We'll see if that's able to hold, but certainly a very disappointing day after a very bullish start to the day. Facebook bounced off 100-period moving average support and was rejected from 20-period moving average resistance. So we'll see a battle there. Here's the lower wick holding 100-period moving average support of 92.20 and then the resistance of 92.34. After 92.34, we're looking at 92.40. GoPro volume is currently 14 million. On Friday, we had total volume of 16.5, so it's about in line with that. Another ugly gravestone doji is currently on the daily chart for GoPro. We saw one 2 days ago, or 2 trading days ago on Thursday. The gravestone doji signaling the bullish reversal. Did not see confirmation of that, and currently we have another gravestone doji which would signal the bullish reversal and need to see bullish confirmation tomorrow and a break of the high of today, tomorrow, 34.58. So we'll still have GoPro on our radars. It's slowly showing signs. A higher low today compared to yesterday was a good sign, but needs some follow through. So these SPY candlesticks are showing you just how indecisive the market is right now. Long upper wicks and long lower wicks in this very tight trading range. Mobileye is trying to turn 47 into support. We had the 200 period moving average resistance on the 15-minute chart just over 47. And watching SPY here either to break 195.60 or this resistance downtrend line and the 100 period moving average resistance of 196.20. So about a 60-cent trading range currently in that channel. Mobilize back over 47. We'll see if it can hold. Held the 20 period moving average support and is now back over the 100 period. Need to see a break of 47.15 on Mobileye. And Sunni, the trading range is 1070 support and 1080 resistance. So we should see with this consolidating pattern for SPY, with 40 minutes left to go, we should see a break of it and some action within the last 40 minutes or so. There will be some opportunity here. GoPro support is the 200 period moving average of 32.75. After that, the low of the day is 32.66. And from there, you'll have to look at any of the previous low of days, which on Friday was 31.32. Yep, 32.75, 200 period. It bounced off that about an hour ago. And we'll see how another test does. Currently fighting 20 period moving average resistance, 33.04. Another long upper wick on SPY. Yeah, CNBC is good to use for quick flips on certain stocks, but other than that, I don't look much into what they say. I just look if they're going to mention a ticker. It brings in about a 5-minute spike in volume, and those moves quickly get erased. So I have played flips on CNBC mentions before, but would never enter any sort of long position more than a flip based on whatever nonsense they're saying. TKC is just in a steady downtrend on the daily chart. Not really seeing anything for support and not much for bullish activity. Let me look at the weekly chart to see if there is any key support coming up. Can't see anything on the weekly chart. We have the lower Bollinger Band resistance on the weekly chart at 886. 10-day moving average resistance of 918. But nothing telling me to get into this stock at the current time frame. A break of 885 could see a move to $9, but other than that, not looking at much on TKC. So I'll stay on till 3:30 here if you guys want to see any other tickers, and then we will watch the last half hour in chat as we see SPY either make a bullish or bearish break. These upper wicks are very interesting, upper and lower wicks. This 100 period moving average resistance is coming closer and closer to the price as it is trending downwards, and the stock price is remaining pretty flat. So that will certainly be a key test when it comes. Watching eyes and the $10 level. Ideally, the bulls would like to see a break of $10 and a run to at least, let's say 1020 would make me feel a lot better about the daily chart candlestick that is currently there. We are looking to close above the middle Bollinger Band resistance, but not convincingly, with a lot of profit taking off of that spike first thing in the morning. So key support for SPY is 195.60 and key resistance is 196.17, this 100 period moving average resistance. So here's another long lower wick. Lots of indecision. The tone of the day was set in the first 10 minutes as we were watching pre-market. I was talking about the range it was going to find in between 100 period moving average resistance and 200 period moving average support, and within the 10 minutes it got rejected and fell through support. So that was a very quick showing of what we could expect to see on SPY today. TTPH pulling back from 950. Looks like we might see a little bit of a struggle there into the end of the day. 33 minutes left to go. Sunni just broke 1070 key support. That is a very bearish development on big volume. So that would be a short entry if you were looking to play Sunni short. Next support I am looking at is 1065. We'll see if the bulls can recover that support level within the next minute. Going to look at some different time frames here to see where we can find any other support. All moving averages on the 60-minute chart are resistance. Same with the 30. More continued indecision on SPY here. Not very exciting, but we'll see a break eventually. SPY is not looking good to hold that 1070. 4 candlesticks in a row now, or I meant Sunni if I just said SPY. 4 candlesticks in a row now of SPY with lower lows. So Lulu's continuing up here. Bummer Willie was stopped out, but he made $9 and saved himself from any risk. It's going to take a lot of bullish volume to break through 53.80 and 53.87 resistance. So I'll stay on until the end of the day here, but there's going to be lots of gaps in conversation as we just sit here and watch and wait. Trust me, Willie, a missed 40-cent move is way better than being red on a trade. And the second you put that stop loss in at break even, you have absolutely zero risk in the world. Let's look at that chart and see what it looked like when you did get stopped out. This is what the chart looked like when Willie was stopped out of Lulu. Lost the 20-period moving average support, set a lower low than any low seen in the previous couple of hours, and an extremely bearish looking chart. Then a lot more indecision for the next 45 minutes before finally breaking to the bullish side. SKX has 200 period and 100 period moving average support, 135.52, 135.93. Lower highs and two higher lows, the low of the day this morning and then the low this afternoon. Needs to maintain these supports and break above. First step for a bullish break would be above 137. GoPro key support test 3276, 200 period moving average. SPY looking like it's breaking down a bit. A break of 195.60 will be bearish. It's a lot of bearish volume the past 25 minutes. So the next 5-minute candlestick for SPY, we're going to see the 100 period moving average resistance line up exactly with the downtrend line that I drew. There's Sunni breaking 1060 with a huge ask, so more downside is coming, and a low of the day test. $22 minutes left in the trading day. Increase in volume to the bearish side. TTPH is looking to get back over 950. SPY is close to going bearish on the end of the day here. SPY is desperately holding on to the support level of 195.60. Resistance is 195.80, the 20 period moving average on the 5-minute chart. Those are two different levels. Fiona's 196.17 was the 100 period moving average resistance, and now we're looking at the 20 period moving average resistance, which has flirted back and forth with resistance and support the past hour. That's why it's important to have the 5-minute charts and the other charts that I have set up the same way, so you can, if I point out a key resistance level, 5-minute, 20 period moving average, you can keep your eye on that level as it is a constantly changing, every 5 minutes target, a moving target. So there's not going to be a big break here at the end of the day. If it is a break, it's going to be a small one and probably over the course of 5 minutes or so. 14 minutes to go here. It's going to take a lot of bullish volume for SPY to break this downtrend line and the 100 period moving average resistance. Not a very exciting power hour here for the markets. I do want to look at Etsy. Etsy I had as a notable mention last night on the watch list. We have the middle Bollinger Band at 1430 on the daily chart. Close over that would be a bullish development, currently at 1434. Not convincing enough of a close to warrant getting in at this point. $14 is support and $14.50 is resistance on the daily chart for the past couple weeks. A close over $14.50 would signal a move to $16 in my opinion. TTPH. Yeah, it's still a good bullish candlestick. That would just be ideal scenario. To close over 950. Did break that level, so that's a start. High today was 964. This is actually one of the least eventful closes I can remember seeing for SPY in a long time. Notably uneventful. So the way the candlestick is shaping up for eyes on the daily chart, I would expect downside tomorrow. We do have middle Bollinger Band support of 978, but that is one ugly candlestick. Close over 996 is the current target, which was the high close on August 28th and the high close on the market crash, on the bounce off the market crash. So I'm going to sign off for the day here. We got 10 minutes to go. Nothing too exciting. We'll keep watching in chat. I'm going to pull up Etsy, see if we get a stronger close. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys had a good day, and I will see you bright and early tomorrow.